Hello, Capricorn. You're gonna skip the line again because I just got some awesome news for us. So I was looking at this astrologer in Vedic. Of course, this is messages for you, so I'll just put them all out in a Celtic cross as I'll blah 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 talk. But messages for Capricorn. Messages for Capricorn that will help them onto the highest path. So we're going to have a golden period throughout 2022 to 2024. This is where and I go by Vedic Sidereal. So if you have a moon or ascendant Capricorn, but I think, you know what, honestly, you're going to get some of this anyway. Even if you fall on the Sagittarius side of the tropic, you're going to get a little bit of it. But if you got that strong Capricorn placement of sidereal moon and ascendant, we're gonna have a freaking golden period, let me tell you. This is where we will be entering the third portion of our Sati Sati. Now, the first portion is just hell. It just, we suffer great losses. It takes away a lot of things within our life that are meant to take away. So it gives us you have to start from zero, like the Fool of the Tarot, and it starts by giving us great losses of things that are kind of holding us back into that other life, that past life, this life that we're meant to transition out of. Now, interesting. Now, we've had a really, really tough go of it. That first portion of our Sati Sati, as I said, it takes away a lot of things. We suffer great losses, and it gives us an emptier playing ground to kind of restructure our life of where it needs to be and where it should be for our ultimate spiritual path. And the second portion of our Sati Sati, the first portion is just like karma, it's restriction, work, boundaries. Second portion is more like the grounding, where you're laying a foundation of now the aftermath of the Armageddon, of where things were just like completely like destroyed, and when now you have like an even playing ground, you're rebuilding a foundation on the ashes of what was burnt to a crisp, right? Now, the third period of our Sati Sati is finally, it comes gifts, as it is Saturn is transiting and is leaving and is going to be entering the first house at the beginning of next year, 2022. And as the end of Sati Sati happens, all of that blockages that we were feeling, all of that restrictions, all of the loss that we were feeling will suddenly start giving us gifts. And it will start to happen within January of this coming year, even the end of this year, because I've been seeing some stuff already as it happens. But there's going to be a huge golden period from 2022 to 2024. And the Saturn, there will be movements. I wrote some notes. So, whatever. I'll just go into the gist of it. So Jupiter and Saturn will be working for us and give us gifts and huge blessings. Now, Jupiter and Saturn, they will be making movements into very, very good aspects and houses within our chart, you know, and these are, a lot of them are money houses. Now, Saturn, that is the planet of karma. That moves within 2.5 years. Now, Jupiter, that is the planet of Dharma. This is gifts, things that are meant for us. This is destiny. This stays within a sign with almost over a year. So Saturn moves about 2.5 years within a sign. It stays within a sign 2.5 years. And Jupiter, it stays almost for over a year within a sign. Now, I know it's been hell, but, you know, Saturn, it never blocks our gifts completely, you know, it delays. And when it delays our gifts, and as Saturn, Sati, we're leaving the third portion, out of the Sati Sati, and as Saturn will finally be in our first house, we will suddenly start getting all of these gifts and gains. And now it is super, super important, before I even go into this reading, to know that whatever you're working on, if you've been unemployed, you will find a good job. You know, it may take time, it may take effort. If you have a career aspect, this is the time to do it and to put the work in. Because whatever we're doing, we have Saturn and Jupiter both working in our favor throughout this time period. So it's really, really important we make the most of this time period. Because the two planets of Dharma and Karma, Saturn and Jupiter, will be our support systems. If you had people who didn't recognize your gifts, your talents, believe you will be recognized when it hits to the Saturn and to the first. And it aspects the 2 and 11 and 6, you'll get that recognition. You'll get support. You'll get financial gains, possibly even a new home, even possibly a new partner that comes up into your life. You know, and you're going to have such huge, amazing blessings, but it's important that we focus, right? We focus, that we make good choices. We analyze what needs to be done, the things that we need to do, what are the right aspects or roads that we need to go down to, and where is it best that we put our efforts in, because this is going to be huge. And as I feel it, look, work. If you're gonna start that business, if you have been already in the works to start it, now is the time to start it. Because if you got that placement right now, everything is working in our favor within this 20 to 22 to 20 to 24. And it'll be big, even on top of the increase of wealth, possibly a partner, possibly a new home, a new car. Things will start looking up for us. And I know we've been in hell. We've been in hell for this past, God, I don't even know how long. But trust me, when I see that things will be looking up for us, it's just that we got to make most of our time and the most of our situation, because right now, the stars are aligned for us to really break through. And it's time for us to make this time period worth it for us, right? Now, 8 of Cups in reverse, this is you. This is you moving away from a situation that is less than emotionally fulfilling or satisfying for you. This is you going towards something you may have dreamed or fantasized about, that you've had designs to go towards, something that is emotionally fulfilling for you. What is your dreams and wishes, things within your life, Capricorn, that you could find that would be fulfilling? We have had so much time of having such oppression and being talked down to and unappreciated and not seeing our gifts appreciated or seen, and or at least, our very least, our efforts. And now part of that, the beginning of our Sati Sati period, and we had to come to that realization that really the only thing that was keeping us where we are was ourselves, and that we had to follow our intuition into something that we know that would be more fulfilling anything than the purgatory that we were living at now, feeling oppressed and blocked. Now you're going towards your dreams, something that you've dreamt about when you were younger, something that is emotionally fulfilling, something that you feel that is a worth endeavor, a path that is worth going down and towards. And the situation is Two of Pentacles. You feel like you're overwhelmed. You feel like there's a lot to juggle: home and work, career life and home life, and, you know, possibly even money troubles, like, you know, like moving money around to pay one bill or the other, or like trying to, you know, be as resourceful as possible all of the time for fear of like not having a certain stability. So maybe there is even an overwork here, a sense of always needing to overwork to keep everything in the air, because maybe you do feel like you are doing a majority of the work on your own. And it seems like it's a lot of hard work, and it's like you're almost going to drop it, like you're almost so overwhelmed that you might not even be able to keep it up. And it's like I'm almost dropping it. It's almost too much for you. But you're still doing what you can because you have a dream. You have a direction. Now the foundation is Five of Swords. The foundation is that you could have been dealing with a lot of conflicts, a lot of people who would gossip. This is people that dealing with people who wants to win at all costs, no matter what the loss is. Like, the people that you dealt with possibly in the past was kind of selfish. They didn't compromise with you. They lacked any kind of compromise or working together or teamwork. And it seems like, you know, I feel like whatever situation that you kept yourself in for as long as you did, you found yourself compromising a lot more than this other people, and you found yourself folding. It possibly even became something like a habit. It was something that was ingrained in you, as in like trying to keep the peace, or, you know, trying to make things keep moving, as in like, okay, I don't want to deal with this drama. How do I make the drama not throw the rest of my day and tasks all off balance? So how do I just appease this, or whatever, ignore it for the time being, so things could kind of stay on schedule to wait to the way that things need to be? And perhaps you compromised yourself a lot for situations like this, just trying to keep things on task, because God knows you've always had to deal with more than you felt like you could handle regardless. But now you're no longer doing that. I feel like you are adopting the characteristics of the people that you were dealing with, but in a good way. It's like you learned a new skill from them, is how not to compromise if it goes against your personal beliefs or values. And of course, they've taught you this many times, enough that You know, maybe you would keep the peace, but hey, you got a schedule, you got stuff to do, you got tons of things to do, things need to stay on task and busy. You would rather just, you know, not deal with it. If you know that it takes the time to deal with it, it's going to make you late, it's going to keep you off task, things aren't going to get done for the day. And it's like you have to consider things like this because, you know, I mean, it seems like you always had to. And now it's like you learned that superpower that they had, and the superpower of not to compromise your own beliefs and values, and not to compromise yourself for other situations. And you learned a new skill of how not to give a fuck. You know? Now in the past, King of Wands in reverse. You could have been dealing with a lot of people who, like, maybe even if it wasn't just a partner, it's like the same kind of energy and the different kind of body. You know, somebody like the type of people who are just really entitled, egotistical, bad-tempered, someone who lacks any kind of self-control, or like who says and does without thinking, who works off impulse and off of passion, you know, people who would fly off the handle, who would be controlling and domineering, you know. And you've dealt with a lot of people like that within your life. And if it's not just your parents, then it's also your work, you know, your teachers, you know, like your superiors in some kind of ways, your parents, your older siblings, you know. And it seems like they've always had a kind of like weird and sick need to have to overrule you and like overpower you, you know, because maybe in some kind of way, because, you know, Capricorn, you know, it is such a powerful sign, you know, and it does hold so much karma within its sign. And, you know, it takes a long time to develop within that sign. And just like Saturn, you know, it's like Saturn and Jupiter, you know, like Saturn is the slowest moving planet. So it even takes that much, like, longer than all the other planets to mature and really come into their power and to really exert themselves and individuate from all of these old paradigms that you've had that kind of kept you oppressed and controlled, and try to suppress your own personal power and all of your manifestation powers for their own personal gain. And perhaps this keeping the peace, it became so automatic, and it became so like conditioned within you. It was something that you would just do without even thinking about it. That to the point that if you had to call somebody out and you had to take the time to say, hey, what was said? You know, what should I say? Should I address this? Because I got a billion things to do. And to the point that it almost became like a conditioned response to just like, whatever, I'm not going to deal with this right now, appease it, I got stuff to do, and go. But then now you're like, I'm not going to appease the situation. I'm not going to allow you guys to, you know, get a handle on my life, on my trajectory, on like my direction of where I need to go. Because you know what? This is my goal. I'm not going to balance this situation. This is your goal and your conscious awareness. The best that can be accomplished at present is the Temperance in reverse. Your goal is, it's an imbalanced situation now because I felt like you walked away. You're doing it all on your own, and you're not willing to rebalance an unbalanced situation. You're not willing to bring balance within the situation, and perhaps you were a peacemaker to some sign or way, or You were the peacemaker. You're the person who brought the balance, who grounded people. Like you were the most responsible out of the family. Like you were the most dependable. And perhaps you even became like the fixer all of the time. And, you know, they would just kind of expect you to continually fix things all of the time. And to the point that, you know, they would use this guilt to be like, oh, well, you're the one that's supposed to bring balance into this. And you became conditioned to bring balance into this all of the time. And then now you're not like, screw it, I'm not going to bring this into balance. If this is unbalanced because it was always unbalanced, I'm going to walk away from this and I'm going to let you bring balance into your own life, because I'm not going to balance an unbalanced situation and have the world settle on my shoulders and, you know, and have more effort and work to be put on my back to keep everybody's life balanced. You're going to have to balance your own crap. And I'm not going to balance a situation where it throws me off balance. I feel like a big shakeup to the way things are. It's like a huge evolution. And I think you walking away and standing to your loyals, it really shocked people. And it did throw them off balance. And you know what? That was your goal. And it wasn't even to be petty, to like, oh, I'm going to show them. It was like, nah, dude, like, I'm just done. Hey. Sorry. It's like, nah, I'm just done. It's not that I want attention. It's not that I'm trying to get attention. It's the point that I actually want to walk away and I don't want to deal with this anymore. And it's unbalanced because I'm not bringing it into balance, and I don't care if it's going to be balanced. You know what I'm saying? And what is it going to bring you? Sun. It's going to bring you awakening. It's going to bring you joy and happiness. You know, you could be entering a different chart within your life, and like the later portion of your life, maybe you have Leo really strong within it. Maybe you have Leo within your future. But this is joy. This is awakening. This is seeing things in a new perspective, seeing things in a clearer perspective, and opening up potential and opportunity and happiness for yourself. Because you juggling this, the selfish people, this domineering selfish people, was making you unbalanced. And you juggling their selfishness and you having to overwork, it was making you unbalanced. So you're like, okay, you know what, I'm walking away, I'm doing it all on my own. It's still a lot less than what I had. And I'm going to make my own destiny and happiness and joy. And because guess what? I'm going through an awakening period. I see things the way they are now. I have a clearer perception, and I know what makes me happy. And it's not to serve a bunch of ungrateful ass people. How you see yourself, 3 of Cups, this is joy, this is happiness, this is reunion. I mean, this could, I don't see, and people say this is like, you know, it's not only about third party. It's like 3 Cups only. I don't see it. I don't. I see this as happiness. I see this as celebration. I see this as like really coming into yourself and breaking off the shackles of oppression and domineering as people, and really seeing your gifts and all of your values and being able to celebrate it. So other people on the outside, they see you as working on something. Maybe they don't know what it is, but they always see you working, they always see you building, and perhaps they're quite curious of what that is. Because you always are busy. You make sure that you are, because guess what? You have a lot of responsibilities, you have a lot of things, and you know, when it comes to Capricorn, we have this inner sense of service that we're moved to present in the world, whether it is to be sending a message, whether it is to have some healing situation, but that's what Saturn is. It's work, it's service. And they see that you're a hard worker. They realize this, and perhaps they didn't appreciate it before. Your hopes and fears of attaining the goal, the lesson to be learned, blocking your development. You fear of totally walking away from this and saving yourself. Perhaps a little bit more of that guilt that was ingrained with you with this whole mind control thing. Because I see this is kind of gaslighting. This is like, you know, being argumentative. And it's like, well, perhaps these people are family, and perhaps it's even a toxic parent or someone that you do have a soft spot with, and it's, even though you tell yourself, or even like an ex or like a friend that you kind of grew out of, or you evolved past and you haven't quite let go, and there's a fear of completely letting go of it, maybe because of that past kind of guilt. This is something that you have to learn, though, of when to walk away, when to practice self-preservation, especially when it comes to people who exploit us and try to use and manipulate us, right? And, you know, you have that sentimental kind of soft spot and empathy, and people think that we're all cold and stuff. And we're not cold. It's just that, you know, we care by serving, by giving service, by doing, by taking care of everything that needs to be taken care of, by making sure that, you know, we have enough resources for the people and our animals and, you know, the people and the things that we love in order to maintain them and their health. And sometimes even more, we put more concern at that towards other people than ourselves. And maybe we have to learn how to completely let go. Maybe there will be somebody coming within your space and asking for favor, or because they see that you're working hard, maybe they even feel that you got some abundance coming in, and maybe they will try to come back in to see what else they could grab. I don't know. Because look, this is the outcome, what you will gain from the experience, the reward, the quality or tool that will help you achieve a breakthrough. Death in reverse. This is a lack of transformation. You know, this is someone who doesn't learn their lessons. You know, like this is maintaining a situation that should have ended a long time ago. This is like on life support, you know, for a patient who suffered brain death and is pretty much the machines that are keeping them alive. You know, it was something that needed to end. And there's a lack of transformation of whoever they're coming around. And if they're coming around you, this person hasn't changed. There's a lack of transformation. There's a lack of an ending of a toxic situation if you go back to this, because it will bring you in balance again. You're not meant to bring this into balance. This person isn't here for your good, for your overall good, because I don't believe they were in the past. And you have to learn how to practice some self-preservation, even if they do try to come back and guilt trip you in some kind of way, because they're unbalanced and it looks like they're in survival mode. And when someone is in survival mode, sometimes they will do a lot of awful things to try to sustain themselves, even if it is in like the downfall of other people, you know? Look at that, Ten of Swords. Which you don't know. Whoever is coming towards you, they have betrayed you a lot. And, you know, these are people that you kept close to you. These are people that had to be really close to you to be able to stick you that many times. And it's possibly, you know, you did feel ganged up on by this group situation. Maybe you were the black sheep of the family. And you walked away from this because it was like, it was too much. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. It was just too freaking much. And now this person, they're coming back around. I feel like they need help. They're down and out, and they're unbalanced, and they're looking for a resurgence of your energy because you have helped them in the past. Maybe you overgave in the past and that's what they remembered. They appreciate it enough to know that they've had something good in the past, but they didn't appreciate it enough to actually let you know or to be aware of it. Maybe they will come and kind of guilt trip you with something like, they'll try to guilt trip you in some kind of way or pull some kind of mind games if it's a parent or family. You know, I feel like it might be, or possibly an ex-husband or, you know, an ex friends with benefits kind of thing. Possibly all of the above, ex-boss who screwed you over. I feel like they want to come back because they're down and out and they're unbalanced, and they need some kind of assistance, but they haven't changed, you know. So the tribe in reverse, this could have been a family situation or a group situation, people that you thought had your back in some kind of way, that should have supported you, but instead they were domineering, controlling, selfish, you know, explosive, volatile, like a tyrant. And the truth be told, you saw them for what they were. You saw them for who they always kind of were, but you didn't want to see in the past. And honestly, if you let them back in, they're going to screw up all of your blessings that you have coming for you. If you feel like you can't do it on your own, know that you can, because you do have such amazing things coming for you. As long as you stay focused, you could do it on your own, because this person will keep you stagnant. And it'll be a repeat of a cycle. It took you a lot to bring your balance back in here within your life, to be able to give yourself on a good trajectory. And it's important you see people for who they are and what they are, and you don't let that pink haze of, like, you know, sentimentality to, and your emotional thinking to oversee your critical thinking and your logic, because it's important you stay on track, you go by the book, you maintain your effort, your work, you know, your resources, and that's what's going to give you your happiness and joy and your sun and your awakening and your awareness. Because the moment that you drop this off and you were able to step onto your own path of spiritual awakening and journey, is the moment you're going to get closer to Spirit and all of everything that He has planned for you. This is work, and these are gifts throughout this period. Messages. There has been awakening and understanding and happiness. They feel You could be getting some kind of messages. Perhaps people from the past giving you some kind of messages. Say that they want to work with you and work on this situation of bring it, you know, into a more equitable situation. But look, they're coming from the past and they're just the same. They're always on the fence, seeing what they can get from it as usual. Be present and keep your mind on your work and the things that you need to do, and appreciate the here and now. Don't let these people throw you off focus, because they bring chaos and conflict. They say they want to send you a message. Say that I want to work on this. I want to work on this now. But look what's underneath. Chaos and conflict. This is all that it really ever was with this person. And unfortunately, all that it ever really would be. And we want to use this time period, our golden period, to the best of our advantage. And I feel like if this person comes back in, they will throw you off track and they will block your blessings. And if they don't block your blessings, they will make you lose your blessings. And we won't get another period like this for a long time. So I guess this is a good warning about whoever comes around in your path. Just be aware and keep your mind on your work, because whatever you put your work into this period, it will reap amazing rewards, as long as you don't let people like this in to screw everything up for you. But that's what I got for you, Capricorn. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment below. Really helps the algorithm and to get the word out about the channel. Donation box below if you feel moved to do so. If not, still love you lots, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.